Inspired Luis Reece innings erases Sussex advantage as Derbyshire take the lead. Sussex had enjoyed themselves on the first day of play. They'd been inspired by David Reece with the ball, who produced an impressive spell of bowling to help his side restrict Derbyshire to 138 all out. They'd suffered a scare of their own and were forced to depend on the combination of Stian van Zyl and Delray Rawlins to put on a bit of a rescue job. That saw them finish the day on 116 for 3, trailing by 22 runs and 91 runs added for the fourth wicket. And with the 7th second day ball, van Zyl brought up a deserved half-century. Rawlins wouldn't be able to stick around though, caught at wide mid-on off the bowling of Reece. Ben Brown fell to his next ball, caught behind for a duck. Van Zyl and Reece stuck together and saw Sussex take the lead, but the South African partnership was separated for Reece's third of the innings and 50th of the campaign. Van Zyl out LBW for 60. Chris Jordan's stay would be brief, falling to Hudson Prentice. The Sussex Academy graduate would also end Reece's innings out for 24, caught by McKiernan. Garton and Robinson added some important resistance to the innings, taking Sussex to their first batting point of the day, 200 runs reached. Robinson was out soon after though, and the Sussex innings looked like it was drawing to a close. Garton had other ideas though, and he continued to bat, finding his way to a maiden first-class half-century as the lead headed towards 3 figures. But he'd fall next ball, out for 50, his side all out for 231, leading by 93. One Ollie Robinson over before lunch would see Derbyshire go into the lunch interval at 1 for no loss. And with beaming sun baking the Derbyshire wicket, Godderman and Reece filled their boots. Try as they might, the Sussex bowlers could do little to press home their advantage as the home side's score began to soar. First came the 50 partnership. Then Reece's half-century, scored off 61 balls. And in the blink of an eye, the Sussex lead was erased without the loss of a single Derbyshire wicket. There was no stopping them, the score now into 3 figures and Billy Godderman batting his way to his 1000th county championship run of the season. His 50 came soon after, a deserved reward for a captain's knock. But Reece was outshining his skipper and he'd find himself on 100 a couple of overs later, scored at almost a run a ball. By the time the second session was brought to a close by the tea interval, Derbyshire had reached 170 without loss and taken the initiative. Sussex had a big session ahead of them. They'd failed to make any inroads after lunch and were looking for a way back into the match. The lead reached 100 shortly after play resumed, Derbyshire continuing to frustrate the bowlers. Reece was playing wonderfully. A 150 came for the Derbyshire opener, just reward for a fine showing. The home side was starting to disappear out of sight and Sussex shoulders were slumping. When they finally did extricate Reece, he'd moved on to 184. Godderman, now joined by Madsen, helped the lead past 200. 300 runs came and went quickly as the shadows began to lengthen. The skipper's diligence brought him his century, the total now more than 350, with the day's play drawing to a close. Sussex would find a second before the close of play, Madsen caught behind off Topley. But that's all they would muster before the day came to an end, Derbyshire closing on 360 for 2. Luis Reece had done the majority of the damage and Sussex will be reeling, their promotion hopes left in tatters. They'll take heart in their first innings performance, knowing that despite their opponent's total, the lead is still almost 100 runs lower at 267. But if the visitors still have designs on a win, quick wickets are a necessity to ensure that target stays within reach.